One of the pieces of feedback that I was receiving from a lot of librarians and researchers and educators in the region was that there's no place to do any research to find Caribbean content. You go to Google, you get links or you get hits, but you don't find any articles, you don't find full text, you don't find books. So there was really a hole, there was a big dearth of information on their own countries, on the region as a whole. And essentially what we decided to do was to write an idea document internally in EBSCO to build a Caribbean database.
The academic staff, some of them had actually been coming to me and asking, can we get our journals into these databases, because they had recognized that it would give them more visibility too. So it seemed as though this was going to be an answer to everybody's queries and hopes at that time.
New areas of study, migration studies, diaspora studies, and Caribbean studies generally also. Those areas of study have been broadening in the North American tertiary level context as well as European. We always knew that there was a wider market out there, not necessarily just for Ian Randall publishers, but for Caribbean materials.
There is a lot of Caribbean material, there is a lot, but it's in print format, not available online, and that is something that I've wished for many years that I could win the lottery and make a difference to. It really does make sense for us to be able to reach a wide audience.
I just have this relationship, me personally, with the database, having seen my dream come true without actually having to do the work was quite good, you know, because we always wanted to do more, but we didn't have the resources.
It's a good reference source because we're able to refer students all the time. It supplements what we have actually, particularly the fact that we mostly collect on the English-speaking Caribbean. I mean, it's good that Caribbean Search is collected on the non-English-speaking Caribbean. Caribbean Search actually supplements what we offer, the mandate of the West Indiana collection, which is to acquire, safeguard, and provide access to materials specifically on Caribbean content. So Caribbean Search supplements what we offer and enhances our offerings.
When the research speaks specifically to your what is happening around you, then you become more intimate and more interested in what is happening.
There's this kind of ownership and this familiarity and this camaraderie with the information that is presented, because sometimes they can't relate to some of the, but with Caribbean Search, it brings it closer home. This is something I can use, it's something that relates to me.
The university requires that at least some of the research is Caribbean based to form a link between your study and the society itself. Caribbean database is essential to our schooling.
So the students now, we have to find scholarly articles on these topics and compare and contrast what different scholars say, and then we can formulate our opinion about this social issue. So although the same issues exist in different societies in the US or France or Britain or in the Caribbean, these are different cultures, and so these issues exist within a different context and in a different way.
Caribbean Search databases and the historical databases, it's a lot easier to find information. I think it's a new exciting development now to have all of this implemented in the school library and accessible to everyone anyway at any time.
The books that you have in the Caribbean collection are also just interesting reading books. There's books that show you what life was like at certain periods in Caribbean history from a normal point of view, not an academic point of view, but how people live their daily lives.
If we were supposed to look at our usage statistics, Caribbean Search tends to be one of the ones that's used mostly, and it resonates with us.
I had asked our systems librarian to run the usage for our Caribbean Search since we have acquired it, and it continues to grow. She did a search from 2013 to current, and it was just phenomenal.
With the Caribbean Search, what I found is that it was constantly being added to. It's interesting to me to see that a lot of the new Caribbean titles, they synonymously in EBSCO, you know, they come out here and say, okay, that's in EBSCO too. How they got that so quick, you know, they just came out, you know, and that has been happening over the years, and I think EBSCO has the edge in that regard.
As an organization with responsibility for policy formulation, it is critical for us to have credible information, relevant, timely, current info to support what is being shared from the PIOJ to the Cabinet Office, to other ministries, to other departments, to other agencies.
really EBSCO is responding to the needs of the market, responding to the needs of the users, and that's the beauty about doing business here in the academic environment that we operate in the Caribbean. I really appreciate that. Thumbs up to them.